Hi, thanks for joining me on the Listen Up Grow podcast, where I bring you LGBTQ plus news several times a week. Before I get into today's news, I'd like to ask you to please go to the description of this podcast and click on the audience survey link. This survey helps me understand who you, my audience, is and your thoughts on what's working with this podcast and my other podcast, Everything and Anything and a Bit Gay. And it helps me plan for what I need to do to make improvements in 2026, and it takes less than 10 minutes. But let's get into today's news. Today's stories cut across misinformation, LGBTQ plus representation, political retaliation, cultural wins, and moments of humanity that remind us why truth and compassion still matter. So let's get into it. Our first story is Hollywood mourns Rob Reiner as Trump sparks backlash. Hollywood is mourning the tragic death of legendary film director and LGBTQ plus rights advocate Rob Reiner, who was found dead in his Los Angeles home alongside his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner. Their son was later arrested in connection with the deaths, and an investigation is ongoing. Reiner leaves behind an extraordinary legacy, not only as a director of classics like The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men, but as a fierce champion of equality. He co-founded the American Foundation for Equal Rights, which helped lead the legal change against California's Proposition 8 and played a pivotal role in restoring marriage equality in California and nationwide. In the wake of the tragedy, Donald Trump drew criticism for making political comments about Reiner, invoking his opposition to Trump rather than offering condolences. Many called the remarks inappropriate, urging respect for the family and recognition of Rob's cultural and civil rights impact. Also, a lot of members of the Republican Party are now standing up against Trump, stating that his comments are inappropriate. Next, a school official put on leave after supporting a trans student. Last Friday, Uncloseted Media published a clip of Chet Hesson, the athletic director for Monroe County Schools in Michigan, expressing empathy for a trans student who had become the target of a far-right media attacks. Less than 24 hours later, Hesson was placed on administrative leave. The timing has raised serious concerns among LGBTQ plus advocates who say the move sends a chilling message that standing up for trans students, even compassionately, can cost educators their jobs. Supporters argue Hesson did exactly what schools claim to value, protecting students and fostering safety. Critics say the response reflects growing political pressure on school system to appease extremist narratives rather than defend vulnerable kids. Our next story is Apple TV makes history with lesbian-led sci-fi hit Pluribus. A major win for queer representation, Apple TV has confirmed that Pluribus is now the most watched show in the platform's history, surpassing even Severance Season 2. It's created by Vince Gilligan, who did Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. The sci-fi thriller stars Rhea Seehorn as Carol, a fantasy romance author who is one of only 13 people immune to an alien virus that turned humanity into a peaceful hive mind. As the heart of the story is Carol's grief over losing Helen, played by Miriam Shore, her manager publicly and her romantic partner privately. Having a lesbian lead at the center of one of the most talked about shows in the world is still a rare and powerful moment. Seahorn's performance earned her the first Golden Globe nomination, a recognition many say is long overdue. And I have to say, personally, this show is fantastic. I wait for it. It comes out every Friday on Apple TV, and I wait for it and want to watch it right away. So if you haven't watched it, take a chance on it and watch it. Our next story is Bishop who challenged Trump to deliver BBC Christmas message. The BBC has invited Bishop Mariann Budde, the Bishop of Washington, to deliver its annual Christmas reflection on Radio 4. Budde made international headlines in January of 2025 when she directly challenged Donald Trump during a post-inauguration sermon, urging him to show mercy towards marginalized communities. Her words resonated worldwide. There are gay, lesbian, transgender children, Democrat, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. The BBC says her upcoming 14-minute message will reflect on faith, hope, and unity among global division, a reminder that moral courage still has a place in public discourse. Next, Culver City makes history with the first openly LGBTQ plus mayor and vice mayor. And Culver City, California marked a historic milestone last week as the city council unanimously selected Petras the mayor for 2026, the first openly LGBTQ plus mayor in the city's 108-year history. Joining him will be Bubba Fish, chosen unanimously as vice mayor, making them Culver City's first openly LGBTQ plus mayor and vice mayor duo. The moment reflects the city's evolving political and cultural landscape and signals increased LGBTQ plus representation in local governance, where policy decisions most directly impact daily life. Our next story is conservative backlash after Chick-fil-A franchise celebrates a gay wedding. Oh no, can you believe this? Conservative Christian groups are once again targeting Chick-fil-A, this time over a single franchise located in Utah. They congratulated two men on their wedding via Facebook. The post, meant to celebrate love and community, sparked outrage among anti-LGBTQ plus advocates, despite Chick-fil-A corporate having no involvement in the message. The incident highlights how even the most basic acknowledgement of same-sex couples continues to provoke backlash, particularly in conservative regions. What does that conservative group think that did? Did it turn everybody gay that read the Facebook message? I don't think so. Next, Petras responds to Nicki Minaj transphobic tirade. After Nicki Minaj launched another transphobic rant online, Petras responded with a simple but powerful message. Trans kids are healthy, by the way. Petras, who is trans and began her medical transition as a child, has long been open about her journey. Her response came amid renewed attacks on trans youth and served as a refusal to stay silent. The post resonated widely as both with a defense of trans kids and a reminder that trans people are not abstract political talking points. They are real, living, thriving humans. I have to say, I am so disappointed in Nicki Minaj. She, I guess, has been hiding who she really is all these years. I thought she was a ally of the LGBTQ plus community, but obviously her support for Trump and her going after trans kids and trans people, she is off of my playlist. Next, gender-affirming care helped save a trans woman's life. In a powerful reminder of why affirming healthcare matters, Jennifer Trefger, a trans woman, shared how seeking gender-affirming care ultimately led to a life-saving cancer diagnosis. Jennifer had experienced symptoms since her teens, but doctors repeatedly overlooked them. It wasn't until she pursued gender-affirming care that physicians conducted preventative screenings, discovering her cancer at stage 4. Had I not transitioned, I'd likely be dead, she told Pride. Her story underscores that affirming care isn't just about identity, it's about listening to patients and saving lives. And our last story is trans actress coming out moment with grandma goes viral. Trans actress and influencer Kevin Nin shared a short, heartfelt video of her coming out to her grandmother and asking to be referred to with she, her pronouns. Her grandmother's response was gentle, loving, and uncomplicated, modeling how acceptance doesn't have to be dramatic or difficult. The clip has resonated widely as a reminder that sometimes love simply is that simple. Love that. That's today's roundup of stories of resistance, resilience, representation, and truth. If these stories moved you, challenged you, or reminded you of staying informed matters, share this episode and keep the conversation going. I'm Zach Reynolds-Friedman, and this is Listen Up Girl. More news coming later this week. Thanks for listening.